All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're talking about the creator economy. It's this massive, and I mean massive, universe of online creators that's just exploding. But beyond the sheer size, there's a fundamental shift happening right now, one that could completely change how we think about value, and more importantly, who gets to own it. So, first things first, we need to talk about scale. To really get where this is all going, you gotta understand the sheer size of what's already been built. The numbers here are frankly pretty mind-blowing. Get this, $250 billion. That's not some future projection. That's the value of the creator economy as we speak. This isn't just a bunch of people with a side hustle anymore. It's a global economic force, and it's powered by more than 300 million people. Bloggers, streamers, artists, you name it. And it's not hitting the brakes, not even close. Projections from Goldman Sachs are showing it's on track to nearly double, rocketing to almost $500 billion by 2027. This isn't just a trend, it's a whole new economic landscape taking shape right before our eyes. So, what's the engine behind all this explosive growth? Well, it really boils down to one simple, powerful word: trust. I mean, look at this stat. The majority of people out there trust a creator's recommendation way more than some slick brand advertisement. That authentic connection, that's the real currency here. It's something brands would kill for.
So that brings up a huge and kind of uncomfortable question, right? If the creators are the ones building all this trust, all this value, why on earth do they end up handing so much of it over to someone else? The answer to that question really exposes a deep crack in the system.
And that leads us right into the heart of the issue. Let's call it the platform problem. Because the very platforms that enable all this incredible creativity, your YouTubes, your TikToks, your Instagrams, have in a way become a kind of beautiful golden cage. I love this phrase because it's so true. Creators build empires on rented land. Just think about that. People spend years, sometimes a decade, pouring their heart and soul into building these vibrant communities, but they're doing it on digital property they don't own. And when it comes down to it, they don't control. And this right here just lays it all out, plain and simple. On one side, you've got what creators bring to the table: the authenticity, the community, the trust, the actual value. But on the other side, that's what the platforms control. They hold all the keys: the audience data, the rules for making money, and, of course, the all-powerful, mysterious algorithm that can make or break a career overnight. It's a system that's just begging for unfairness. Okay, so if that's the problem, what's the solution? Well, it's not about little tweaks here and there. A whole movement is gaining steam that wants to do something much more radical: rebuild the very foundation of the internet so that the users, not the giant platforms, are the owners. And it's got a name: decentralized social, or DSOC for short. The core idea is actually super simple, but it's totally revolutionary. It's about flipping the script. It's about giving the power and the ownership back to the people who are actually creating all the value in the first place. I mean, just imagine this for a second. An internet where you truly own your content, where you can't be deplatformed just on a whim, where you can earn money directly from your audience through things like tips or subscriptions without some massive gatekeeper taking a huge cut or changing the rules on you without warning. It sounds like a creator's dream, right? A total paradise. But there's always a but. For years, this incredible vision has been stuck, blocked by one enormous technical wall: scalability. Yeah, Dr. Carl Crater, one of the co-founders of Quai Network, nails the issue right here. The blockchain technology that makes DSOC even possible, the thing that guarantees ownership, has always been way too slow and way too expensive to support a social network at a global scale. It's like trying to run a superhighway on a single-lane dirt road. And to really put that into perspective, for a global social network to even work, to handle every single like, every tip, every subscription, it needs to process tens of thousands of transactions every single second. Most blockchains out there today, they can only handle a handful. It's not even in the same ballpark. So how do you solve a problem that big? You can't just tweak the old system. You have to design a totally new architecture from the ground up. So let's dive into one of those potential blueprints for a scalable, decentralized internet. Okay, the secret sauce behind this particular project is an idea called block reduce. Now, don't worry about the jargon. All you really need to know is that it's a super clever design that takes the same ultra-secure technology that powers Bitcoin, proof of work, and basically re-engineers it to handle commercial-level speeds. The easiest way to picture it is like a highway system for transactions. All the small, everyday stuff like a like or a tiny tip, they stay on the local roads, these zone chains, so everything moves incredibly fast. But if you have a bigger, more important transfer, it gets routed up to the regional highways or even the main interstate, the prime chain. It's all about sorting traffic to prevent those epic digital gridlocks.
And what this unique design does is create some absolutely mind-boggling gains in efficiency. I mean, look at this comparison. For roughly the same energy it takes to process one single Bitcoin transaction, Quai can process thousands upon thousands more. And that is what drives the cost for a user down to practically nothing. We're talking less than a penny.
Okay, so the tech is slick. It's impressive, for sure, but that's only half the battle, right? The real question is, what does any of this actually mean for real creators? Can you actually use it in the real world? Exactly, because you can have the most amazing blueprint in the world, but if nobody ever builds anything with it, well, it's just a cool idea on a piece of paper. So, meet Kipper. It's a super simple app that's built on the Quai Network, and what it does is it lets you tip a creator with crypto right there in the replies on X. This is that direct peer-to-peer system in action. No platform in the middle, no middleman taking a cut, just a direct link between a fan and a creator.
And this isn't just a concept. People are really using it. Even in its early stages, users have already sent over 15,000 tips with the app. That's tangible, real-world proof that people want this. There's a real hunger for this kind of direct, unmediated support for creators.
And that really brings us to the key takeaway. This whole thing isn't just about cool new tech. It's about a fundamental shift in philosophy. It's about moving from a world where we basically rent our digital lives from a few giant corporations to one where we actually own our creations, our communities, and our data. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. If you no longer had to ask a platform for permission, if you could just build, what would you create? It's a powerful thought. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.